Happy Monday, Latin 1 students. I'm going to start off today with a little bit of a challenge for you for your bell work. I have listed here the various types of pronouns that we have learned this year. I think I hopefully have them all. What I'd like for you to do is give the translation of these and then the type of pronoun that it is. So like personal, demonstrative, those sorts of things. So here we go. Is ea id, hic haec hoc, ego, sui, qui quae quod, ille illa illud, tu, ipse ipsa ipsum, iste ista istud, and then idem eadem idem. Okay, so go ahead and take those, give the translation for them, and then the type of pronoun. All right, let's take a look here. Now, this is a little tricky here. So, is ea id is a rather peculiar one. It can mean he, she, it. It can also mean this or that. In the plural, of course, it can mean they, and then these and those. So it can mean a whole bunch of different things. And it functions both as a personal pronoun, third person personal pronoun, and as a demonstrative. So remember, personal just means it's going to indicate a particular person or thing. Demonstrative would mean it's pointing something out. Okay? So that would be is ea id. Hic haec hoc was actually the first one I think we ever learned. In the singular, it means this. In the plural, it means these. All right? And this one is a demonstrative. Okay? Sometimes it can be weakened to have a very similar meaning to is ea id, but generally we'll just go with this and these. All right, ego means I or me in the singular, then we or us in the plural. And this is a personal pronoun. Okay, it's a first person. All right, next we've got sui. This is the sui sibi sese. This is going to be like himself, herself, itself, themselves. And this one is what's called a reflexive pronoun. So reflexive means it's going to point back to your subject. Okay, next we got qui quae quod, which is our new one. Who, which, and that. All right, and this is what's called a relative pronoun. Relative pronoun, okay? Relative pronouns, remember, are going to introduce relative clauses, which function like big adjectives. All right, then we've got ille, illa, illud, meaning that in the singular, those in the plural. And this would be another demonstrative pronoun. All right, tu means you. All right, and the plural is vos, which also means you. This is personal pronoun. This is a second person personal pronoun. All right, then we've got ipse, ipsa, ipsum, which is the myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, themselves. This is what's called an intensive pronoun. So this is used for adding emphasis. So if you want to say, I myself believe that such and such happened, that you could use ipse there. All right. Iste, our next one here, that of yours or those of yours. This one is a demonstrative, okay? And this is the one that sometimes can have a kind of a negative connotation, like that opinion of yours is stupid or something like that. All right. And then we've got idem, eadem, idem, which is basically a compound form of is ea id, just with dem at the end. And idem, eadem, idem means the same. Okay, and this is also going to be a demonstrative. And some of these, like idem, eadem, idem, can function as both a pronoun or an adjective. So they can do double duty sometimes. All right, Latin 1, continuing on here, we're going to do some of our old-timey sentences, sententiae, antiquae. This is on page 143. And the sentences I'd like for you to translate are 1, 3, 5, 6, and then 8, 9, and 10. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So go ahead and pause this video here and translate those sentences. All right. Now, hopefully what you got here. Number 1 from Terence, the comic playwright. He says, "Hello, good friend, to whom I yesterday entrusted my son." Okay, so notice a couple things in there. Solway, a nice imperative. It's the common way of saying hello. Good friend is in the vocative, used for direct address. And then notice the qui in there is our relative pronoun. Okay, it is dative, so it's being used as your indirect object in that clause, to whom I've entrusted. And then its antecedent is friend, so that makes it masculine and singular. Okay. Number 3. All right. So number 3. Many citizens either do not see those dangers which are threatening, or they neglect those, understood dangers again, which they see. Okay, so many citizens either do not see those dangers which are threatening, or they neglect those dangers which they see. All right, so you've got some citizens here, good old citizens. So they're either blind to the dangers at hand, or they choose not to pay attention to the ones that they see. Okay, so either way, they are being they're either blind or they're foolish. Okay, not a good way to be a citizen. Okay, be a responsible citizen, guys. Okay, and notice here, ea is our, qui is our relative pronoun. It shows up twice. And the first qui is going to be your, is actually nominative, because it's which are threatening. All right, but the second qui is actually going to be accusative, because it's which they see. All right, and the way to tell that one, even though they look the same, because remember with neuters, the nominative and accusative look the same. So on that one, you have to just kind of go by context and which is going to make more sense. Okay, so do you say which they are threatening, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So you have to say which are threatening, and then the other one. The dangers aren't going to be seeing anything, so you have to understand which they see, the citizens see. All right. Number five, from Horace, who is a famous poet. He who has begun has half the deed, has half of the deed. Begin. Okay, there's that command there. So notice what's going on here. A lot of times in Latin, when you have, you'll see a sentence start with a qui. Okay, in which case there's no word before it because it's starting the sentence. So you have to supply like a subject. So he who has begun, and then you can have has half the deed. Okay, notice here the domitium is going to give us facti, which is in the genitive. Now, this will be a lovely example of that partitive genitive, half of the deed. Okay, so what Horace is saying here is the beginning, just starting something, is going to be half the battle. Okay, I don't know if you've experienced this in doing your work, but sometimes just getting started is the hardest part. All right, number 6, from Publilius Cyrus, our old friend, great name. Fortune fortune is fickle, or fortune is light, is trivial. All right. It demands back quickly that which it has given. Okay? It demands back quickly that which it has given. So the quote here is our relative, referring back to the id, okay, the thing, it, or that, which it has given. Okay? So fortune, a lot of, at least some of the ancient folk, and even medieval folk kind of conceived of fortune as having a wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune. So it will take you up, 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 up. So you're doing really great, but then fortune's wheel turns down and your life suddenly becomes awful and all that sort of stuff. All right, so that's the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not sure if Publius Cyrus held to that, but some ancient folk did, particularly in the medieval times, I think. All right, number eight from Cicero. Not only, another one about fortune, not only is fortune itself blind, but also it makes those men or those people blind whom it always helps. Okay, so not only is fortune blind, but it also makes those blind whom it always helps. So people that are always relying on fortune for their benefits and everything, they will become blind because they won't have to work for anything because they don't think they do. All right. Number 9. This is another one from Publius Cyrus. Great name, and this one is actually straight from him because it has a little star by his name. He conquers twice who conquers himself in victory. Okay, so this one is a good lesson in self-control. All right, so he conquers twice who conquers himself in victory. Okay, so very important thing to learn moderation, learn self-control. All right, important for the ancient Romans, and also very strongly taught in the Bible as well. So self-control is a good virtue to exercise. All right, and number 10, last one here, insincerity or pretense destroys truth. Okay, so pretense or insincerity destroys truth, without which the name of friendship is not able to be strong. Okay, so a friendship that is not based on truth will have no foundation. All right. Sine qua, notice that there's a pretty famous phrase in English called sine qua non, which literally means without which not. A sine qua non is something that is a necessity. Okay, so for example, water. Water would be a sine qua non for life. Okay, it's a necessity for life, because without water you cannot live. All right. So that's what we've got for today. Remember to finish up that homework assignment I gave you. That's due tonight if you haven't finished that yet. And be looking for your vocab quiz. That's I'm planning on that on Thursday. So make sure you're studying your vocab words. All right. Hope you guys had a fabulous weekend celebrating Christ's resurrection. And love you guys. I'll talk to you later.